Lewis Hamilton, one of two seven-time F1 champions in the history of the sport, openly admitted that he is not in a good place right now. Even though he clinched third place in the Drivers' Championship, Hamilton said that this year was emotionally draining for him. Now might be a good time for Frederic Vasseur to double down on his poaching, as he recently claimed that he and Sir Lewis talked of teaming up. Let's see if he's telling the truth in today's video. Hamilton has shared his thoughts on the emotional strain of the 2023 Formula One season. The Mercedes driver, who hasn't experienced victory since the 2021 Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, grappled with a winless year. This marked a notable shift from the previous dominance he and Mercedes had displayed. The implementation of new technical regulations played a substantial role in reshaping the competitive dynamics, causing Mercedes to fall behind in the F1 hierarchy. Even in the face of the team's challenges, Hamilton successfully clinched a commendable third place in the Drivers' Championship. His teammate George Russell secured an eighth-place finish. Nevertheless, as the season concluded, Hamilton found more relief than cause for celebration. When speaking to the media, he admitted that. "I'm not burnt out. I'd rather not keep going into the season, but I think for me I'm just more emotionally drained at the end of the year." The taxing physical and logistical demands of the season played a major role in contributing to Hamilton's exhaustion. The rigorous travel schedule, particularly the challenging transition from Las Vegas to Abu Dhabi, added an extra layer of difficulty. Hamilton also delved into the psychological aspect of his struggle, pointing out that it definitely has been so difficult for everyone here, all the teams moving from Las Vegas out to Abu Dhabi. I think it should be better next year. It's obviously a very long season. I think really with all the negativity in the world as well, it's been quite draining just to maintain a positive mindset throughout the year. Similar to Christian Horner, Fred Vasseur has hinted at conversations with Lewis Hamilton, but the prospect of a move to Ferrari was never genuinely on the cards. Before Hamilton inked a new deal with Mercedes midway through last season, speculations ran rampant about the potential destinations for the seven-time world champion in 2024. Even if he eventually renewed his commitment to the Silver Arrows, there was a period when paddock chatter was dominated by rumours of him considering a switch to Maranello. During Hamilton's negotiation period, he was connected to various teams, with Ferrari emerging as a potential frontrunner fueled by reports from Italy. However, these reports were later debunked as false. Regarding whether Vasseur spoke with Hamilton, he mentioned that such discussions have been part of his routine for the past 20 years. In a media dinner at Maranello, he said, "I'm talking with Lewis each week or each month for 20 years. I can't say that I didn't speak with Lewis at one stage because we're always in contact. And that's true with most of the grid because most of the grid drove for me in the past, and it's not because of that." I had a discussion in Baku. In the paddock, we had a discussion with Lewis and then it started to go everywhere. But if he signed a contract with me each time that we spoke in the past, then it would have cost me a fortune. A stint at Ferrari could be considered the one missing element from Hamilton's illustrious career, but he confirmed that talks were always casual, as he mentioned to Blick. "I'm sure we've had a few casual conversations. I know a lot of good people there, but I never felt ready to move to Italy. This is not the first time when the two of us, him and Toto Wolff, have discussed for hours and haggled over details, always under the motto, from Thursday to Sunday I belong exclusively to Formula One. There are so many details about my promotional activities. I'm in a happy position with Toto. He is respected and admired by everyone. It's easy to negotiate with him, and that makes him a great leader." That being said, Vasseur may want to bite his tongue the next time he has the urge to talk about the Mercedes legend. Toto Wolff has warned the Frenchman and other rival Formula One teams will regret underestimating the Silver Arrow's decline over the last two seasons, emphasising his determination to steer the team back on track for a course correction in 2024. The team's 8-year dominance as Constructors' Champions concluded in 2022, as they pursued the flawed zero-pod design philosophy entering F1's ground effect era. Despite facing challenges, the team's 2022 Challenger W13 showcased its potential by dominating in Brazil. George Russell drove to victory in the sprint and secured a maiden Grand Prix victory the following day. Nevertheless, 2023 proved to be a challenging year for Mercedes as they endured their first winless campaign since 2024. Meanwhile, fierce rivals Red Bull triumphed in 21 out of 22 Grand Prix. The German team decided to part ways with the zero-pod philosophy before the Monaco Grand Prix in May, securing second place in the standings but with a points tally that was less than half of the dominant RB19. In a post-season Q&A, Wolff said, "We learnt a lot this season. The races and the seasons that are difficult are the ones where you learn the most. And we always say, the days we lose are the days our competitors are going to regret because we learn the most." I think there's so many lessons that we learned as an organisation, as humans, but also technically that will be beneficial going forward. I wouldn't be able to pick one out though, because there's so many things that we've looked at that will help us progress over the next year. It's a constant learning process, and next year, and in the years to come, there will be situations where we say, well, we didn't spot that. That was also true during the last 10 years where we won 8 championships. You've just got to constantly learn and develop. That's a mindset we've always had. Mercedes came within reach of victory at the United States Grand Prix in October, with Lewis Hamilton finishing just 2.2 seconds behind Max Verstappen. However, the 7-time champion was disqualified from the result as his plank was found to be excessively worn after completing the race distance. Despite the outcome, Wolff highlighted the race in Austin as Mercedes' best of the year, saying, "We brought an upgrade package that worked. The car was performing well, and we were hunting down the leader. You could say, well, you were disqualified for a car that was too low, but the genuine performance was there, and that was an enjoyable weekend. I've always said that I'd rather have a fast car that we haven't tuned in the right way. And obviously, you need to finish, but that was the best weekend overall, seeing that the correlation between the wind tunnel and the track was good." Wolff also emphasised that one of the significant challenges for Mercedes in 2024 is appropriately managing and setting the expectations right for the upcoming campaign. "We have a huge mountain to climb. There's a team that is so successful, and we have a big gap to close. At the same time, I believe we've taken some proactive steps to close that gap. Is it going to be good enough? I don't know. But we're going to see it in testing and then in the first race in Bahrain. I'm super excited. I'd like to start going now. It's the stopwatch that's going to tell us what job we've done." But if Wolff's warning were to come true, which Mercedes driver comes out on top? According to Martin Brundle, it would be too close to call between Lewis Hamilton and George Russell if both were in a title-challenging car for the upcoming season. The Mercedes duo has shared the team for 2 seasons, and in 2022, Russell finished ahead of Hamilton. However, in 2023, the 7-time world champion outperformed the younger Briton, who referred to the year as a scrappy season on his part. When it comes to being in title contention, former F1 driver and current Sky F1 commentator Brundle doesn't have a definitive answer as to who would emerge victorious between the two. Engaging in a Q&A on Sky Sports F1's website and responding to fan inquiries, one fan posed the question of who would be more likely to win in a title battle between the Mercedes duo if they were to regain contention within the next 2 seasons. Considering the closely contested performances they have displayed thus far, coupled with Russell's limited experience in prolonged battles at the front in Formula One, having secured only 1 win in his career so far, Brundle is uncertain about how far the scenario would unfold. He responded, "I think they're so close, those two. If you look at the stats, but George had a couple of nightmare races this year. That's a very good question. It depends if Lewis maintains his current motivation, but it's so close to call. Lewis knows how to do that, but George has got youth on his side. I don't know the answer to that, but I definitely wouldn't say, oh, Lewis without a doubt, because he's already a 7-time world champion. That I would absolutely not say. Until George is in a championship-winning position, we don't know if he's got the head to cope with it." In other news, Lewis Hamilton has once again expressed his unwavering dedication to contribute in any way possible to bring Formula One back to Africa, as the continent has not hosted a race for 3 decades. The South African Grand Prix at Kyalami was a regular event on the Formula One calendar, but last took place in 1993 before being omitted. Since then, neither South Africa nor the entire African continent has been included in the Formula One schedule. And Hamilton is eager to witness a change in this scenario before he concludes his Formula One career. Efforts by South African officials to reintroduce Kyalami to the Formula One calendar have been ongoing for a while, but 1979 world champion Jody Scheckter asserted earlier in the year that a deal has been hindered by greed from circuit officials. Seven-time world champion Hamilton has consistently advocated for the return of South Africa and Africa as a whole to the Formula One calendar. He remains steadfast in his commitment and has expressed that he won't consider retirement until he witnesses this vision become a reality. Speaking to fans in Abu Dhabi, he stated, "I'm working in the background to get South Africa on the race calendar. That's like such a dream for me. I've got to stay until they get that race." So, how will this off-season affect Mercedes' chances of nabbing the top spot in 2024? Tell us what you think in the comments section down below. And, as always, don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. Thanks for watching.